So just come into any comfortable seated position. If you'd like, you can move the flesh from the sit bones, sit tall, and close your eyes. And take a moment to really calm and steady the mind, settling into the body and into this time and space. And then begin to observe the rise and fall of your abdomen. Just that gentle coming in and going out. No rush, no effort, just easy breathing. As if you had all the time in the world. Keep relaxing any areas of tension or gripping that you find in the body, starting at the crown of the head and just slowly bringing your attention down past the forehead, the eyes, into the cheeks, nose, and jaw, noticing any muscles that are contracted, and do your best to relax them. Moving down into the tongue, throat, into the neck, shoulders, the chest, the heart, down through the upper arms, the upper abdomen, and through the lower arms and hands and fingers. Returning back to the torso as you move from the upper abdomen to the lower abdomen, down into the hips. Notice more subtle sensation there. Down through the legs, the knees. Down through the lower legs, the ankles, the feet, and to the toes. Looking for areas of contraction and trying to relax more deeply. And sometimes during this practice, there's almost like a melting sensation through the body, and we feel the pull of gravity. We can use that pull to release. So the energy of elimination is a down and outward energy. We call this apanavayu. And this movement governs elimination, but that can be on any level, so physical, mental, emotional. Even the releasing of tension is a form of elimination, letting it go. So we're going to just do 3 breaths where we reach the arms out wide, bring them overhead, and then feel with our arm movement that we're actually pushing any energy that doesn't serve us, anything we want to eliminate out from our field down towards the earth. So inhale your arms out wide as you lift and rise. Keep the eyes closed. Take the arms up and over the head, and now like you have flat palms pressing onto a table, just gently start to come down through your energy field without touching your physical body. And just feel as if you're clearing anything in your field that doesn't serve, anything you want to eliminate or release. Keep pressing the hands down and just keep sending it towards the earth. And then you can go back, frame the knees, flip the palms up, and inhale again. Arms reach out wide as you lift and rise. Coming as high up as you can, elongating the side bodies, and now like you're pressing your palms flat into a table, just slowly come down through your energy field. And again, you're clearing and releasing anything that doesn't serve. Notice if there's any specific areas calling out to you, or is it just a general cleansing? Again, you can frame the knees as you turn the palms up again. One more, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, just clearing as we come down. Just encouraging it towards that energy, Apanavayu, for elimination. And then when you get to the knees this time, you could just turn your palms up and rest again. And take a deep inhale in, filling chest, ribs, belly. And exhale, belly, ribs, and chest. And start to establish what we call Visamavriti breathing. So not the same fluctuation breath. We'll inhale for a count of 5 and exhale for a count of 7. So just by extending the exhale breath, we also encourage that energy of elimination, of letting go. And you can count as slowly or as quickly as you need to accommodate your breath. But we'll maintain that the exhale is 2 counts longer than the inhale. So as you have that longer exhale, really feel the purging process, the squeezing of the abdominal muscles as you draw the breath out, and that momentary feeling of emptiness at the bottom of exhalation before inhalation begins. And then as you observe the breath in this way, noticing that moment of emptiness before the inhalation begins, see if you can feel the energetic pulsation or intention to breathe in. So something inside you wanting to breathe in, drawing the inhale in. It's just prior to the breath coming in. So what's that motivation to breathe in? That if we think of the exhalation in its traditional definition of expiration, and inhalation's traditional definition as inspiration, then what is it that's causing the inspiration? What part of you seeks to live, to experience, to grow, to continue on? To take in the new, the adventure and the mystery with all of its energies associated, including anticipation, maybe a little anxiety or fear just of the unknown, thrill, excitement, nervousness, all the things that accompany the experience of something new. Good. Just one more full, complete breath here. Just observing these things. And now bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs touch your sternum and bow your head to your hands. So we'll set the intention for this practice today to work on building what we call soma. And soma is the well or the reservoir of which we are able then to act, to move more deeply into life. It's like the oil in an oil lamp that allows the flame to continue burning. And so the elimination process is necessary. We don't want to have a dirty oil lamp. At the same time, too, the inspiration, the life itself, the flame is essential. But without it, the ojas, without the soma, the nectar, the sweetness, the nourishment, then the flame can easily burn through the wick and burn out. And we can become depleted. At the same time, too, the functions, if we don't have proper elimination, the function of the oil, the function of that ojas cannot perform its duties as easily. And so working with soma, we're really working with the quality of the moon. And we're going to be bringing in a chant today. And the chant is very simple. It's a shortened version. It's just Om Som, S-O-M. Som being short for soma. So if there's anything in your life that's maybe a new adventure you've been entering into or something you've been working on, some life that's starting to burst forward as it often does during the springtime, then bring that into your intention, but also that you are choosing to surround it with the proper nourishment and that we seek to develop more soma in the practice today. So take a moment to just make that more personal to you. And then place this in your heart and just surround it with unconditional love, compassion. And then very gently opening your eyes, we'll come back into the room. Okay, so if your sit bones were propped up on a blanket or bolster, we'll move that out of the way. Bringing the hands on top of the knees, we're just going to have some undulations of the spine by lifting the heart and bringing it towards the earth. Elbows are lifted up in the air. And then hold on to the knees and round the spine, pulling the navel toward the back body. Do that again. Inhale, dipping that heart, elbows point up into the air, reducing the thoracic curve. And then exhale, holding on to the knees, navel towards the spine, and opening up that back body. So keep going, inhaling, exhaling with your breath. And remember, the exhale is going to be just 2 counts longer than the inhale. So just a little more time exhaling than inhaling. So feeling the spine as you do this, noticing if there's any areas of rigidity, sometimes a feeling of dryness. This is an area we'd want to bring more of that nectar, that soma in. And then just 2 more here. Nice. And then sit tall. If you need to move the flesh from the sit bones again, inhale, the arms reach up, and then exhale, we'll forward fold through the legs. And just reach the arms as far forward as they'll go. Soften the head and neck. Spread the palms wide, push into the earth to draw a little bit of the weight back into the sit bones. Keep softening the heart. Use your longer exhale to relax any areas of contraction. And then walk your hands to the right side, square your chest to your right thigh, press your left sit bone down, and extend your arms again. Head and neck is relaxed. Just feeling a little more of a stretch on the left side of the body, and make sure to anchor that left hip deeply into the earth so it doesn't come off. And then soften both of your shoulders. So we have a tendency to really want to grip that left shoulder. Both shoulders relaxed here, head and neck relaxed. Breathe all the way down into the belly. Long exhale as you contract the abdomen to push the breath out. And then we'll walk our hands over to the left side and do the same thing. So chest to the left thigh, extend the arms, head and neck is relaxed, press the right hip down. Watch the tendency to grip the shoulders, so keep relaxing the shoulders, relax the head and neck. Find any muscles that are contracted and see if you can release them with that longer exhale breath. Go ahead, come back to center. Interlace your fingers, push your palms away, press down through your sit bones, come all the way up, and now extend as much as you can. Lift the shoulders up by the ears for just a moment, creating as much length through the torso as possible. And now let the shoulders come down as the torso stays long. Breathe deeply here. Keep pulling the abdomen in on exhalation and pay attention to those low ribs that they're not poking forward too much. And think of a straight spine from the back of the skull all the way down to the sacrum. And now we'll rest our head on our right arm and just lean over to the right side. It doesn't have to be very deep, so don't push it. And then breathe into that left side as it opens up a little more. Good, and then come back to center and switch. Put your head on your left arm and just lean to your left side. Enjoy that stretch. Notice where there's sensation. Keep relaxing. And then gently come back to center and slowly release your arms down by your side and just feel the blood rushing back into them all the way down to the fingertips. Just that warmth. Very nice. So roll your wrists out, make circles in one direction, and then roll your wrists in the other direction. We're going to come on to our hands and knees here for just a moment in tabletop position. So we'll have the hands directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet pressed down into the earth. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. And then exhale, round the back, take the sit bones to the heels, child's pose. Now in child's pose, bring your hands onto your sacrum, and we'll stand on our knees, inhaling the right arm up and over the head. Lift and lengthen through your core. And now turn your right cheek into your mat. Take the right hand down and pull the navel towards the spine. Inhale, come up again, lifting the right arm. And then exhale, we'll come back to child's pose with the hands on the sacrum and the forehead to the floor. Okay, so we're going to do that on the other side. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, push that hand away as your left cheek comes into the mat, navel to the spine. Inhale, the left arm comes up again, really elongating that left side body. And then bring the hand to the sacrum and the forehead to the floor. Okay, now we're going to bring in that chant of Om Som. So inhale the right arm up. As you push the hand away, we'll chant Om Som. Om Som. Inhale the right arm up again. And as we come down, hand to sacrum, forehead to floor, we'll chant Om Som. Inhale the left arm up. So just by chanting, we're naturally lengthening the exhale breath. Push the left hand away. Om Som. Inhale the left arm up. And sacrum, forehead to floor. Om Som. One more time. Om Som. Inhale right again. Remember the meaning of it. Nourishment. Om Som. Left arm. Om Som. Inhale, left arm again. Forehead. Om Som. Now stay here on the earth. You can extend your arms forward into traditional child's pose. Breathe here. And now bringing your hands down as if you were going to come up into like a headstand. You're going to roll up onto the crown of the head here, but use your hands for support. So there's not very much pressure on the crown of the head. And then you just above the forehead, rotate into small circles. Just small little circles right there around the third eye. Maybe a little higher up. You can get towards the middle of the head. It's a nice massage there for the frontal area of the brain. And then switch and go in the other direction. And more breath here. And then rest again in child's pose and just let everything settle. We'll bring our hands around our middle part of our arms, and you can either interlace your fingers and press your forearms down or spread your palms wide with the forearms parallel. Tuck the back toes under and lift the sit bones up and back for forearm down dog, or sometimes we call this dolphin pose. We'll treat it like down dog, so feet hip distance apart, bend one knee and press the other heel down. And then bend the other knee and press the other heel down. And just move back and forth a few times. You can go slowly or quickly, whatever feels right for your nourishment today. Remember, with your longer exhale breath, you can really use gravity here with the inversion of the body to pull the navel deeply in and up under the rib cage. And then find your feet hip distance apart, toes turned in slightly, heels out. Roll the inner thighs in and back and allow the sit bones to spread. Continue to press down through the forearms so that the head just hangs between the shoulders. And find the web of the index and thumb anchored into the earth as well. Breathe deeply here. Find areas where there's rigidity or it feels like there's chronic contraction. And at any time during the practice, you can bring in a specific chant to that area of the body, that Om Som. And then bring the knees down, and we're actually going to sit tall on our heels here into Vajrasana. If that's not comfortable for your knees, you can always sit on a bolster or a block between the ankles. And now roll your shoulders out. Roll them back, and then roll them forward. So this movement in the shoulders is really good for lubricating the joints. And go back again. And then come forward into tabletop position. We'll just momentarily come into downward facing dog. So in tabletop, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. Exhale, tuck the toes, find downward facing dog.
So down dog is very similar to that dolphin we just did. Feet are in the same position, legs are firm. Just in the upper body, make sure you roll your shoulder heads away from your ears, hug the inner elbows toward one another, and press firmly through the web of the index and thumb. Continue to allow the head and neck to release. One more full, complete breath here. Remember your exhale's longer. And at the bottom of that exhale, come onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the hands, and step forward to the fingertips. Open the feet hip distance apart, standing forward fold, micro bend the knees. Let the upper body just hang over the legs, no tension here at all. So we're gonna grab onto either elbow and provide a little extra traction for the spine, as well as the head and neck stays heavy to also provide that traction. And make sure that you feel balanced in your feet. So don't be too far in the heel or too far in the ball of the foot, but find that center, as well as inner and outer edges of the feet. Each time you exhale, take your belly button in and up. So as you surrender the belly, there's a little more room to forward fold. And now really let gravity take you here. So rely on the legs to support you. And as you stabilize through the legs, see if with each longer exhale, you can get heavier and more relaxed. Really working through some of the layers of tension in the back of the legs. So if you're doing that breathing at 5-7 and that's comfortable for you, you can stay there. If you'd like to increase it to 5-8, go ahead. Then maybe try 5-9. As you find that 9 count exhale, see if you can sink further, maybe getting to 5-10. And one more breath at your longest exhale breath. So at the peak, it would be 5-10, but any other version is fine. And now open your eyes if you weren't open already, and just notice the space that you've created just in that few moments of mindful breathing, letting go. And then interlace your fingers behind your back. Take your knuckles up and away from you. Just stretch out your shoulders. Again, after that dolphin, this yoga mudra feels really nice. And you can floss the shoulder blades by taking the knuckles over the head and then bringing them towards the sacrum and just going back and forth in that line to loosen the shoulder heads, loosen that joint. Squeeze out any toxins, any stiffness that resides in that area of the body. Good. And then we'll keep the hands over the head, press equally into both feet. Now we've been down for a while, so just come up halfway and take a moment to let the blood level out. Full breath in, full breath out. And then press into the feet, come the rest of the way up. Lift the heart, look up, lift the chin. Don't collapse the back of the neck. And then just release it all and come into Samastiti, and just for a moment stand and feel that space you've created. Notice how the blood and the sensation rushes into the areas you just worked. It already has the intelligence within it and knows how to start that healing process. We're going to do moon salutations here today. Feet are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Toes out, heels in. Inhale, squat. Exhale, toes back in, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, low lunge. Fingers in a finger stand, heart comes forward. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to tabletop, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, navel to spine, child's pose. Inhale, stand on the knees, arms reach up over the head. And exhale, hands to sacrum, forehead to floor. Inhale, reach up again. Arms lift overhead. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Heart lift, sit bones lift. And exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Same leg will move, so right comes forward, left knee down, inhale, low lunge, lean into it. Exhale, step the back foot forward, standing forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart. Toes out, heels in, inhale to squat. Exhale, toes turn back in, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up as you reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Left side, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Toes out, heels in, squat. Inhale, hands at the heart. Exhale, toes back in, standing forward fold. Left leg goes back. This time, lower the knee down, top of the foot, fingers in a finger stand. Heart comes forward. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, tabletop, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, stand on the knees, arms reach overhead. And exhale, hands to the sacrum, forehead to the floor. Inhale, the arms reach out wide as you lift and rise. And exhale, bow down to child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, heart lift, sit bones lift. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg steps forward again, lower the right knee down. Fingers in a finger stand, lean into the lunge. Exhale, step the back foot forward, standing forward fold, feet are hip distance. Inhale, turn toes out, heels in, squat. Exhale, turn the toes back in, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up, arms reach. And exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to add in that chant of Om Som on exhalation. And as we're doing it, we want to think of the meaning of it. So remember, it's that nourishment. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold, chanting. Om Som. Toes out, heels in. Inhale, squat. Exhale, toes back in, forward fold. Om Som. Right leg back, lower knee, top of the foot. Inhale into low lunge, lean into it. Exhale, step back to down dog with the chant. Om Som. Inhale the knees to the floor, heart lift, sit bones lift. Chant as you go back to child's pose. Om Som. Inhale, stand on the knees, arms reach. Chant to child's pose with the hands to the sacrum. Om Som. Inhale, arms out wide again. And child's pose. Om Som. Inhale, tabletop, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, down dog with chant. Om Som. Right leg forward, lower left knee down. Inhale, lean into it. Exhale, step forward with chanting. Om Som. Turn the toes out, heels in, hands to heart. Turn the toes back in, forward fold. Om Som. Inhale the arms out wide as you lift and rise all the way up into the heart here. Om Som. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Om Som. Toes out, heels in. Inhale, heart. Exhale, back to forward fold. Om Som. Left leg back, lower knee down, top of the foot. Low lunge, lean into it. Exhale, down dog. Om Som. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale to child's. Om Som. Inhale, stand on the knees, arms reach. Exhale, hands to sacrum, child's. Om Som.
Inhale the arms out wide as you lift and rise. And exhale back to child's pose. Om Som. Inhale, tabletop position. Exhale, down dog. Om Som. Left leg forward, right knee down. Inhale, lean into the lunge. Step the back foot forward, forward fold. Om Som. Toes out, heels in. Inhale to squat. Exhale, forward fold. Om Som. Inhale the arms out wide as you rise. And exhale to the heart. Om Som. Now either stand in Samasthiti with the hands at the heart or the arms down by your side, your choice. And just take a moment to feel. Noticing the different quality of the moon salutations to the sun salutations. Maybe the slower pace, more feminine approach. That nourishment, that same radiating milky blue light of the moon. And just one more breath here, just letting that nourishment seep into every single cell. Okay, so we'll stay at the front of our mats with the feet hip distance apart, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, toes out, heels in, squat. Hands at the heart. Exhale, hands to the floor, turn the toes back in, forward fold. Step the right leg back, lower the knee, top of the foot, and if you'd like a little extra padding under your knee, flip your mat over because we're going to stay here for a while. You can use a blanket if you need to. So we're going to inhale, lean into that front foot, just like we did in the salutation, and then exhale, sit back on the heel and flex your left foot, opening up into the hamstring. Do it again. Inhale, come forward. Send the heart forward, lean into the lunge. Exhale, sit back into the fold. Good. 3 more with your breath. Anytime you'd like, you can bring in that internal chant that will also help you to extend your exhale breath. 2 more. Each time noticing just a little more space. Again, that repetitive movement helps to lubricate the joints. Good, and then this time we're going to come forward into the low lunge. Tuck the back toes under if they're not already, and then straighten the front leg and come into a high lunge position, but fingers in a finger stand to start. So we're just going to place the left hand and anchor it firmly into the floor. Stay in the high lunge and inhale the right arm up. So an open twist here, a little bit different than the closed twist. Navel's rotating to the right. Now as you exhale, just bring the arm down. Everything else stays stable. Scoop under the leg like you were gathering something under there. And then again, inhale and open up into the open twist. Exhale, big scoop, gathering all that energy. Inhale, opening through the heart. 2 more. Nice. Now we'll bring the fingertip to the floor, spin the back foot flat for a long pyramid. So with a long pyramid, it's still heel to heel alignment. Hips are squared forward. If you'd like, reach into the ball of the front foot and lift the toes. That helps to stabilize the leg, activating both inner and outer arches of the feet.
And then anchor into the back heel as much as you can, like you can imagine it pressing into the wall behind you. Now with the longer stance, it's helpful sometimes to have a micro bend in that front knee so we don't hyperextend. And certainly if you need blocks, place them underneath each hand. Inhale, bring the heart forward, elongate. Take the tips of the shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, melt over that leg. Repeat it. Inhale, extend, open up, lengthen the spine as much as you can. And then exhale, in that new space, melt into the leg. Keep pressing into your back heel again. Inhale, as much room from the pubic bone to the sternum as you can manage. And then exhale, and now we're gonna just stay in the forward fold. And we'll do that breathing that we did a few moments ago. So we'll start with inhaling 5 and exhaling 7. And then inhale 5 and exhale 8. Take your time, there's no rush. Contract the abdomen. Inhaling 5, exhale 9. And then finally, if you can make it to 5-10, inhaling 5. And then nice, slow release, exhale 10. And wherever you are able to make it to, stay there for a few extra breaths. Wherever you're able to sustain without strain or stress. And see if that longer exhale helps you to eliminate, to release whatever is blocking, whatever tension's there, physical, mental, emotional. One more breath here. Good, and we'll come out of that, stay fingers in a finger stand. Extend your back leg back into high lunge again, so you may need to lengthen the stance. And now we're gonna lower that knee down top of the foot. Walk your right hand beyond, your left foot beyond your right hand. Lower knee down and the top of the foot. So we're coming into pigeon variation. Tuck your back toes under and straighten the back leg. Let the hips fall into place. If you'd like, you can always prop the hips up by using a blanket underneath your left sit bone for a little more support, bringing the floor up to you. Inhale, the heart extends, and exhale, walk it out. Starting on your forearms, just take a moment to let the body adjust. Breathe deeply here. You want to feel even pressure in your outer left hip, as well as the top of the right thigh, maybe the top of the foot grounding. Big toe, pinky toe anchored into the earth. Now, again, this is another one of those postures where we can really use the breath to go deeper, but we have to continue to feel like we're letting go. So inhaling for 5, exhale for 7, and continue to increase till you get to 5-10, or if your breath is naturally already longer, start where the count you're at, and then see if you can get to a true 1 to 2 breathing count. So that would be a 5 count inhale, 10 count exhale. Remember the exhales for letting go. Really release, and you can continue to adjust through the arms as you need to, as the body comes down, maybe forehead to the mat, maybe arms extend all the way forward. Keep relying on Mother Earth for your grounding. Keep letting go. Give it away. Let her absorb it. Anything you want to release, any contraction you find in any muscles, let them relax. And then your last breath here, you're going to bring your hands under your shoulders, slowly come back up. And instead of releasing the leg up in the air, we're going to just let the weight go onto that left hip. And now swing the right leg all the way around. So we'll stack the knees.
coming into cow's face pose. So you want your feet to be about even on either side, and if it helps, take your hands into the inner arch, lift your hips and wiggle them back and forth, and that helps to secure the legs a little more. So now getting a little bit different sensation into the outside of the right hip. If you have a strap or anything like that nearby that you can drop down, we're going to take the right arm underneath the back and the left arm over the head, dropping the strap down to grab onto it, or you can grab onto the fingertips. Left elbow points up into the air. Elongate the left side body, stretching through the right shoulder here. And then close your eyes. Find the length of your spine, so from the crown of the head to the sacrum. Breathing deeply here. Begin to rock just ever so slightly from side to side. Just a little bit of rocking, so you're finding center and then kind of shifting your awareness off of center back and forth. And then find center again and be still. So rocking is known to be very soothing to the nervous system, soothing to the body. It's why we do it for babies. And now again, as you stay here in this cow's face, remember that the cow is considered very sacred in India. It's the source of nourishment, that it continues to give milk even after its babies have weaned. And they looked at this as a gift. And milk, as we know, is one of the most nourishing components. When we feed our babies our milk at the beginning of their life, filled with nutrients, all the antibodies from the mother, all that nourishment. Milk, warm milk at bedtime is known to help support the brain. So one more breath here. Now we're going to release the arms first, and then just drop your strap if you had one. Cross the right arm over your chest. Hook the left arm under at the elbow, and now pull the tip of the shoulder down and away. Just stretching the shoulder in the opposite direction. Good. And then bring your hands forward. We're just going to step left leg back, then right, and come back into downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here in down dog just to stabilize. Noticing the different energetic quality of this practice. Not as fiery, not as sun. Much more moon, much more feminine. And now we'll step the right foot forward to the fingertips into high lunge position. And if you need to, flip your mat over. You're going to place the left knee down to the floor. And if you can prefer, you can always put a blanket there. Then bring the knee down, fingers in a finger stand. You're going to lean into that front knee, so stretching again into the quad. And then as you exhale, sitting back on the heel, flex the right foot and lean into the hamstring. Repeat that again. Inhale, come forward. Lean into the lunge, and then exhale, sit back on the heel. Good. 3 more like this with your breath. Again, if you'd like, in the mind, you can mentally repeat the chant Om Som as you go back. So that helps to maintain that ekagrata, that one-pointed attention for the mind. Last one. Very nice. And then come forward and tuck the back toes under. And if your mat was flipped, let it release itself. You're going to stay in this high lunge position here. So fingers in a finger stand to start. Now normally we would switch and open the right arm up, but we're going to do it with an open twist instead of a closed twist. So right hand stays down next to the foot. Stabilize your balance. Lift the left arm up in the air and rotate the navel to the left. And then exhale like you're scooping flowers. Just scoop that left arm underneath the thigh, and then inhale and open up again through the chest. And then exhale, scoop. inhale. Exhale. Nice long breath. Inhale, one more. Good, then bring that hand down to the floor. Step the back foot flat. So we're going to keep a long stance for pyramid here. Normally pyramid's a shorter stance. Grounding that back heel down, you're going to push into the ball of the front foot and activate the arch, inner and outer edges. Make sure your hips feel like they're squared forward. And then because we've got this long stance, you might want that micro bend in your front knee. If you need to bring the floor up to you, get your blocks, place them underneath your hands. Otherwise, the hands can stay on the floor. So we're going to do 3 sthis. Inhale, chest away from thigh. Press it as far away from that back heel as possible. And then exhale, melt into that space. Repeat that again. Inhale, pull forward. Elongate, create room and space. And then exhale and melt just a little deeper. One more. Inhale. Draw the shoulders down the back as the heart comes forward. Exhale. And now stay and continue to soften through those layers. Again, mental repetition of the chant will help. And you could start at that 5-7 breathing and increase the exhale by 1. Max would be 5-10, a true 1 to 2 breath. Each time you extend the exhale breath, make sure you're contracting the abdomen. Use that to pull the belly out of the way and to soften deeper into the forward fold. So all of this is helping to stimulate the part of our nervous system that allows us to rest and digest. We consider it the restoration nervous system, the parasympathetic. Very nice. Now, when you finish your last one, don't rush. Take your time to get there. Come back into high lunge, so you may need to wiggle those back toes back just a little bit. Then lower that knee down top of the foot. Now you're going to walk your right foot beyond your left hand. And if you need that blanket underneath your hip to bring the floor up to you, just prop something up. Can be a blanket, can be a pillow, doesn't matter. Tuck your back toes under, straighten your back leg for a moment. That helps your hips to fall into place. And then the top of the foot grounds. Hands on either side of the hips. We want to open the heart first. Create as much length in the front body and then use that length as we move into the forward fold. It's helpful to start on the forearms just to give our body a moment to adjust into the depth of the pose. Return to your breathing. And again, you can go back to starting at 5-7, or if you feel comfortable staying at one of the longer counts and just beginning from there, go ahead. Again, remember the mental repetition of the chant. It will really help you to fall more deeply into the posture. As you feel the body unwind, adjust your pose. So you can go deeper by extending the arms or letting the forehead come to the floor. Two more breaths here. Om Som. Remember the meaning. Nourishment, healing.
And when you finish the last breath, there's no rush. Take your time. Take your hands under your shoulders. Release your blanket. And again, we're going to bring the weight down into the right hip. Sweep the left leg around and cross it over the right knee so that you're now prepared for cow's face on this side. And to get nice and tight in the legs, bring your hands to your inner foot. Lift your hips and wiggle into that space. This will get the legs tight together, and then you can sit tall. Again, since the left leg's over, the left arm will go under, and we'll drop the strap down, excuse me, drop the strap down with the right hand. Otherwise, if you'd like, you can just grab with your fingertips. Right elbow lifts up, elongates the right side body. Close the eyes. Find that central channel, that central spine where the most important information flows through the body. Just understanding already that there's intelligence there. And then begin to rock just a little bit from side to side. It doesn't have to be much. Just feel that soothing, nourishing rock. Also helping us to have a better sense of where our stable center is by coming off center. And feel the center when you pass through it. And you can keep rocking if you'd like, or you can just get still. Just observing the difference between action and softness, stillness. There's 2 more breaths here, remembering the chant, Om Som. And then we can release the strap. We'll take the left arm across the chest. Now hook the right arm under at the elbow and pull the tip of the left shoulder down and away. Just stretch it in the other direction. And releasing that, we'll bring the hands forward again, and this time step your right foot back and then your left into downward facing dog. Stabilize here for a moment. And it's so interesting because we used to realize or think that we needed to work extra hard in order to get physically fit. And as more and more research comes out, we begin to understand that actually, especially with our modern lifestyle, it's the opposite that we need in order to be fit. It's the opposite for health. So activating the part of our nervous system that helps to restore and heal is essential these days, since we are so overstimulated. And that proper and healthy digestion is a very big key in our maintaining of a healthy body weight. And that happens only when that parasympathetic is stimulated. When we're stuck in stress, our digestive system doesn't entirely shut down, but does slow quite a bit. So 1 more breath here. And then come onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, look at the hands, step forward to your fingertips. Come back into standing forward fold. Turn the toes out, heels in, inhale into squat. Heart is forward. Exhale, turn the toes back in, standing forward fold. And now inhale, reach the arms out wide, lift and rise as you come all the way up. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. And just be here for a moment. Just rest either with the hands at the heart or arms by the side. Hands to the hips. We're going to bend the right knee, stabilize onto the left foot for a balance pose. So as that knee comes up into the air, feel yourself growing taller. So like a zipper from the pubic bone all the way up to the crown of head,
get as tall and as long as you can. Now we already did an open twist, but we're going to do a closed twist here. So you can take the left hand to the outside of the knee and then open the right arm up. And we use this hand on the knee like leverage. So as you inhale, grow a little taller, and then pull a little bit on that knee to help rotate the navel a little deeper to the right. So it doesn't have to be excessive, just a little bit, but inhale, grow taller. Exhale as you squeeze the navel in, rotate a little deeper to the right. Good, 3 more like that. Keep reaching that back arm behind you, open the chest. Squeeze and wring out. Last one. And then gently come forward and release, shake the feet. It's a little bit of a rotation into each foot or ankle. Find stability, symmetrical pose. And then weight into the right foot, and we'll do the other side. Left knee bends. As you lift it up in the air, take your left hand to the outside of that knee and left arm behind you. Inhale, grow taller. So like a zipper from your pubic bone up to the crown of your head. Grow as tall as you can. And as you exhale and squeeze, rotate the navel deeper to the left. Inhale, you might unwind a little bit to get a deeper lift. Exhale, squeeze, pull the navel in and rotate. Keep going. Take your time on that exhale. Remember, you've got a longer one. Just wringing out any tensions that like to gather around the spine, in that fascia and the muscles. Chronic patterns of contraction. Good, one more. And then gently release, come back, find neutral. Again, if you need to rotate the feet, please do so. And we're going to do one more balance pose here. So hands to the hips, weight into your left foot again. Take your right foot to your ankle, and if your balance is challenged, this might be enough for you. You can also take the foot to the calf, or if you're feeling more comfortable today, we've already opened the hips, you can take the foot to the inner thigh. So knee is nice and open and wide, hands together in front of the heart. So tree pose. And you can keep the hands at the heart, or you can bring the hands over the head, palms staying close together. And I like to think about those trees and the roots that they have and how they take their nourishment from the earth. And they're so intelligent, right? They're even some of the trees, like the aspens, communicate underground in these elaborate networks. So those roots are their source of nourishment, and then from there, the trunk extends it up to the branches, where we may find the flowers or the fruits or the leaves. And then in the fall, when the weather gets colder, to save its energy is so wise. It releases what takes the most. It releases the leaves, and it sends its soma down into its roots, where it sits there practically dormant for the winter, reserving its most precious energy so that when the sun returns, it can use it to grow again. So one more breath here, embodying that intelligence of the tree. And then we'll release the hands down and switch the legs. Again, if you want to rotate through the feet a little, and then find symmetrical. Really settle there. Okay, right foot anchors, left foot to the ankle, starting there. Maybe try the calf if that's a little bit more comfortable, or go all the way up, foot to the inner thigh. So you're pushing the leg into the foot and the foot into the leg. Knees nice and wide, hands at the heart. Breathing here. If you want, you could take the arms over the head. And as you're breathing, again, that embodiment of the tree, flexibility yet strength, beautiful balance. Imagine those roots anchored down through the foot. A couple more here. Push the foot into the leg, leg into the foot. Breathe, don't hold your breath. And then bring your hands down and gently release. Find symmetrical. Good. At the front of your mat, big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart, and make sure that you have a block nearby. You may need it for the next posture. So inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold navel to spine. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. Exhale, go back into forward fold. Now, here's where we're going to put the block. Like, take it 6 to 10 inches in front of your big toe, your left big toe. You're going to put weight into your left big toe and place your hand on the block. Now, the block can go on any edge, so tall, medium, short, or no block at all, your choice. And as you put the weight into your left foot, you're going to lift your right leg up in the air. Now rotate that hip, so stack right hip over left. All that space, elongation here. And then extend the right arm up in the air. And keep flexing through the heel of your back foot. As you reach the fingers away from one another, keep the gaze steady at the floor, or you can go to the horizon, but feel that elongation of the inner thigh of the left leg. Breath is deep. Om Som. Half moon here. So since we're embodying the moon's energy today, bringing in this posture. One more breath here. Now, if you're comfortable, you can stay in the position or you can grab onto the top of the foot with the hand. And now start to push that foot into the hand. So it feels like you're moving towards bow pose. We call this Ardha Chipasana. Breathing here. Heart comes forward. More spaciousness through the body. And then release the leg. Bring the fingertips to the floor. You're going to step back into high lunge for a moment. Fingers in a finger stand. And now walk your hands towards the center, turning your left toes in, and come into a wide foot spreading posture. So if you'd like, you can inhale your hands underneath your shoulders, elongate the spine first, and then exhale and walk your hands back through your legs, lining your fingertips up with your toes. Now, if the crown of the head touches the earth, we've done a lot of forward folding, so that's great. If not, you can always place a block there if you'd like to feel that sensation. Breathing here, we're going to bring the body weight forward just a little bit in the balls of the feet, so we're really in the center. And now press to the outside edges of your feet and really feel that outer leg line. Again, what we worked a little bit there in that cow's face, but now all the way down towards the calf. Breathing here. Good. 2 more breaths. Long exhales. If you like, you can return to that true 1 to 2 breathing. Good. 2 more breaths. And then bring your hands back under your shoulders. Now we're going to turn the toes out, heels in, and come into goddess pose. So we're bending into the knees. As we bend into the knees, we're going to bring the torso up and then square the arms. So we're bending at the elbows, fingers spread wide like goalposts. And we're just going to hold that goddess pose there. A tailbone absorbs into the body, lower belly lifts. Steady your gaze at the horizon line. Breathe deeply here. Think of the nourishment of the goddess, of the mother, embodying that soma. Now bringing your hands down to those knees, dip your right shoulder down lower than your left. Dip your left shoulder down lower than your right. And just go back and forth a couple times. Just loosening up the shoulders, that nice little twist again, working through those kinks in the spine, wherever we've gotten tight. And then come back to center, straighten your legs, heel toe your feet back, and then step back to the front of your mats. Big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale here. We're going to do the same thing we did on the other side. So moving into that half moon. You're going to put that block about 6 to 10 inches in front of the right foot. Lift the left leg up in the air. Use your block on any edge that you need. Now stack the hips so left goes over right, opening it up to the side wall. Left hand can start at the hip if you'd like, or take the left arm straight up in the air. As you elongate the inner thigh of the bottom supporting leg, anchor firmly into the floor. Feel that grounding earth energy. If it helps, visualize the roots of the tree. As you stack left hip over right, make sure that you're flexing through the heel of that foot so your supporting leg is equally as stable. You can take your gaze to the floor. You can bring your gaze to the horizon, whatever feels comfortable for you, but chest open, heart open in front and back. Keep the breath deep. Remember that long exhale, hugging the navel toward the back body. Stability, moon energy. And if you want to try that last posture, Ardha Chipasana, you're going to bend the back knee, grab onto the top of the foot with a hand, and then push that foot into the hand so it almost feels like you're in bow pose. Top of the thigh stretches, front of the heart stretches. Breathe deeply. A little bit different stretch for the hip, but still opening up through that front body. And then when you're ready, you release, stepping that left foot back into high lunge position. Take a moment in high lunge here. Fingers in a finger stand. Good. Now this time we're going to scoot the left knee underneath us. Once again, come down into those cow's face legs with the right leg over the left. Again, hands on inner foot. You can wiggle into that space. And this time we're just going to bring the hands down out wide. Press into the earth. So you want your hands wider than your shoulders. Press down into the earth and push the weight back into your hips. Head and neck just hangs here. And we're going to do 3 Om Soms out loud, but we're going to do them with a quieter voice. So we'll decrease the volume as we go. Inhale. Om Som. Om Som. Om Som. Slowly walk your hands back. We're going to do Agni Stambhasana, so fire log pose. Right foot is going to sit directly on top of the left knee. Left foot goes directly underneath the right knee. So you want to stack the calves. If you looked between your legs, you should see a triangle without anything in the way. Now, if you're tight in the hips, that's okay. You might find that the knee is up here. You can prop your sit bones up on a blanket if that helps. Otherwise, you can also slide the foot down to mid-calf, but we're trying to keep those shins as stacked as possible. Flex the feet, fingers in a finger stand to start. Close the eyes. Inhale here. Mental repetition of the chant as you exhale and start to walk forward. Pause when you get to a new area of sensation. As you exhale, mental repetition of the chant as you fold. Now, sometimes the body will give you permission to go forward. At other times, it'll ask you to stay. Just listen to that intelligence. Trust it. Hear the chant in the mind. As you relax the tension in one hip, make sure you don't gather it in the other. And then slowly start to walk your hands back. Now we're going to take this right foot, the crease of the left elbow, and then wrap the right arm around the knee and just start to rock back and forth in that hip. So again, just like you were rocking a baby, make sure you're pulling back on the pinky toe side of the foot and keep the heart coming forward. Again, that lubrication of the joint through the rocking, also very calming for the nervous system. And then if you're really comfortable here with your flexibility, you're welcome to take the right leg over the shoulder, plant the right hand down, arm binds the leg, and then straighten that right foot and just rotate the navel to the left. Just give a nice little stretch there for the hip. And then we'll release. Straighten the legs for a minute in Dandasana, staff. Hands beside the hips, just be still. Eyes closed. Okay, reversing that. We're going to cross left leg over the right knee. Back to cow's face legs, hands on the inner foot. Wiggle into the hips there to get nice and tight. And then again, we're going to bring the hands wider than the shoulders. Out in front of us, press down into the earth, push the weight back into the hips and let the head and neck relax. Feeling that grounding energy relying on the earth. Some of the most important herbs grow at night in the moonlight from that nourishment in combination with the earth. So let's do that 3 Om Soms, again, decreasing volume as we go. Om Som. Om Som. Om Som. And then slowly walk your hands back. And again, we'll get that Agni Stambhasana on this side. So left foot directly on top of right knee and right foot directly underneath left knee. Shin bones stack. If you look between your legs, you should see a triangle without anything in the way. All right, so fingers in a finger stand to start. And you might find that this is enough sensation. You might want to just stay upright with the spine. If you have more sensation or have more room to find more sensation, you can walk your fingers forward and just come into that first area. Close the eyes. Breathe here. So mental repetition of the chant. Use that to help lengthen the exhale naturally, as well as take you deeper into the mental focus, into the vibration of Soma, the healing, nurturing force. So no rush, but when you finish, slowly walk your hands back up. We're going to take the left foot into the crease of the right elbow and just rock a little bit from side to side. Just loosening that joint, some of that lubrication. You can go rock slow, you can rock quickly, whatever feels right for you. And then of course, if you want to take that leg over the shoulder, bind the leg by placing the hand into the floor. Right hand grabs the outside of the foot, and then you'll just straighten the leg. Breathing deeply here. And then gently release. Straighten both legs. Find Dandasana, sit tall. Completely steady. Okay, so we're gonna prepare for Shavasana, and if you are in a cooler room, you might want to put your sweaters or your socks back on to let your body temperature cool down slowly. And if you have the ability to do legs up the wall, there's a clear wall nearby, then you can choose to take Shavasana in legs up the wall. And this particular posture is incredibly good for, again, stimulating that parasympathetic nervous system and really calming everything down. So it's highly recommended in moments of stress that you find that position and just do some slow breathing with that longer exhale breath. It's a very important pose. So what you can do is you can come up to the wall and you want to come into fetal position with your glutes and your feet up against the wall in fetal. So that's really key to get the glutes and the feet up against the wall. And then as you roll onto your back, the legs can come up one at a time. And now your glutes are right up against the wall, so you have a nice seal there for support for the legs. Of course, if the legs are really tight and this causes you to have to work hard to keep the legs up, then it's best to just rest in traditional Shavasana, resting on the floor with the legs a little wider than hip distance and the arms down by the side. But if you're staying here in this legs up the wall pose, tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, have your palms facing up. And then just close your eyes. Settle into the relaxation of the support of the wall. Notice the support for the spine from the earth. And now you can release any trying through the breath. So let the breath count go and just find a natural breath, whatever is easy and comfortable. something you don't have to think about. And for a moment, with your eyes closed, just imagine that you're looking up at the dark night sky. As you look at the dark night sky, notice the vastness of space. And feel that same spaciousness within your own body and mind. And like a beacon of light, a guiding force, visualize a full moon. See its milky blue light bathing down upon you, sending that cooling, nourishing energy into every single cell. Cooling down any excessive fire, moisturizing any dryness, lubricating any areas of stiffness. Om Som. So gently bring your knees down into your chest if you are in legs up the wall pose. And then curl back into fetal. If you were on your back, just rotate wrists and ankles. Just start to enliven the body. And then the left hand can go down into the earth. Just slowly come back up into seated. Head and neck heavy, eyes closed as you come up. Sit with a tall spine, relaxed body. As you sit with that tall spine, relaxed body, notice how you feel. Calm, the presence, the nourishment, that quality of self-care and love that we really owe it to ourselves to show. If we really embody this temple, this vehicle, and realize it's a gift, then we want to treat it with the loving kindness that we would treat others. So bring your hands back together in front of your heart and bow your head to your hands. And just go back to that intention of really seeking out, is there any area that needs that nourishment in my life? Maybe I have been not giving it the attention that it needs. Where can I slow down? What can I let go of to make room for that self-care? And then we'll seal this practice with the chant of Om Som, followed by the sound of a full moon Tibetan bowl. Deep inhale. Om Som. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this healing practice. I hope that it was a benefit to you. Please share it with your friends and family, and like the video, subscribe to this channel so that you get updates when new material has been posted. And in the description, there is a link to my Patreon account if you'd like to donate to these classes to help support me and allow me to continue to offer them. I hope that you have a wonderful week. Namaste. Thank you.